The Environmental Protection Agency under President Trump is proposing to slash its 2026 budget as efforts are underway to unravel Biden-era regulations, including aspects of the Green New Deal. For more, let's bring in the administrator of the EPA, Lee Zeldin. Mr. Administrator, welcome.
It's great to be with you.
Great to see you. So many Trump voters wanted to see the unraveling of a lot of regulations during the Biden administration. How is that effort going at EPA?
It's going great. One of the questions I get asked often is what's been the biggest surprise or the biggest shock since you became administrator of EPA? It's amazing how much we're able to do at once. We're not pacing ourselves. We want to fix everything. We want to get as much as possible done this year in 2025. We heard the voters last November loud and clearly. They want to make sure that we are both protecting the environment and growing the economy. And there's a lot of economic pain that was placed all sorts of ways on American families all across this country. Regulations that came out in 2023 and 2024 from the Biden EPA, intentionally suffocating all different parts of our economy, trying to get rid of baseload power, which a lot of Americans want more of. So what we saw was a big step this week. The Senate passed 3 bills that were previously passed by the House to get rid of the Biden EPA waivers on California's electric vehicle mandate. Now it goes to the president. We at the EPA are going to continue to do our part to heed that demand of the American public.
I mentioned the budget. There are allies of yours who support your mission who think you may be cutting too deeply at the EPA. What about that concern?
We need to operate as efficiently as possible. The operating budget at EPA is about $10 billion a year. In the first 100 days of the Trump presidency, while we were doing all sorts of great pro-environmental actions, we released 100 on day 100. We also have cut over $20 billion, $22 billion worth of grants. So twice the size of our operating budget, we were able to find that much efficiency. Because when Democrats had one-party control here in Washington, they were getting tens of billions of dollars out to unqualified recipients. They're reducing agency oversight. There's all sorts of self-dealing and conflicts of interest. And we refuse to waste taxpayer dollars.
The New York Times reporting today that the EPA wants to remove greenhouse gas emissions limits on power plants. Make the case for that. Why are you doing that?
There's been this ping pong started during the Obama administration. It was called Clean Power Plan 1.0. The Supreme Court said that you couldn't do it. It was overturned. The first Trump administration took action, and then we saw Biden come in, and the Biden EPA ended up going even further than the Obama administration did to try to get rid of the coal industry altogether, where there are all sorts of states that desperately rely on it. Economically, it's jobs, it's source of power. There are Democrats who say, they talk about wind, which is the intermittent source, as if it's a substitute for baseload power. It's not. We need more baseload power. So President Trump says we're going to unleash energy dominance in America. President Trump says that we're going to make America the AI capital of the world. President Trump says that at the Trump EPA, we're going to be doing everything in our power to make it easier to afford to purchase a vehicle, to make it easier to be able to heat your home. So we're going to fulfill our mission. We are going to protect human health and the environment while also powering the great American comeback.
I know you traveled to Southern California to see the issue of Mexican sewage coming across the border into the U.S. What's the latest on that problem?
Since President Trump was inaugurated, the San Antonio de los Buenos plant in Mexico was completed. That gets 18 million gallons per day. We just announced this past week that the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant on the U.S. side is increasing capacity by 10 million gallons per day. We've also cut a year off of the timeline on the Mexico side to redirect 10 million gallons per day from the Tijuana River to the Tijuana Dam. And there are all sorts of other Mexico side projects that are really important. We don't want an 80% solution. We want a 100% solution, not a 100% solution for 2025. We need to plan for Mexico needs to plan for population growth in Tijuana. This needs to be a 100% solution for 2035.
Switching gears a bit, we saw the horrific murder of a young couple this week here in Washington, worked at the Israeli embassy. I know you met with one of the victims recently. What are your reflections?
Sarah was just in my office, as you pointed out, a couple weeks back, and she struck me as somebody who was filled with decades of life in front of her, filled with positivity. Sometimes you just get those vibes from people. They're just filled with pure positivity. And it was an amazing first impression. She was working with my staff since that visit to our office with regards to a possible upcoming visit to Israel. And she was going to Israel, which turns out would have been to get proposed by her boyfriend. And now the two of them are no longer with us. So when we see, you're just playing a segment on Harvard. When you see on college campuses encampments, you see Jewish students getting targeted. This can go to a next level where it goes beyond what you might argue to be protected free speech. It crosses a line. Maybe it's not protected. Maybe somebody ends up losing their life because of it. So this action, this leadership by the Trump administration to keep our streets safe, to clean up Washington, D.C., to get rid of this hatred, to combat anti-Semitism, God bless him for it. Thank God he got elected. And Sarah, hopefully her passing, and Yaron, hopefully their passing is not something that we just move on from. This happened on U.S. soil, and It shouldn't have happened, and it can't happen again.
Administrator Lee Zeldin, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Mike.
I hope you come back.
Look forward to it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.